Hi everyone, this is Paul from Xfinity Solution. As you know, today we have our special guest with us, Robert Fuller. He is the founder at Thoughtful Innovations. So, Robert, I would like to welcome you and thank you for your time. Can you just go ahead and tell me something about yourself and your company?
First, pleasure to be here. I really appreciate the invitation. Thoughtful Innovations is a full stack digital marketing agency. So everything from simple reputation management all the way up to full multimedia, multi-platform customer sales journey funnels, customer journey funnels. If you name it, we do it. We also offer for companies within the HVAC industry, we have a free support group on LinkedIn called the HVAC Owners Group, where we really try to share information that's pertinent to the current business environment, all the wonderful challenges that have arisen this year, and ways that they can approach that and weather the storm as much as possible.
Oh, that's great. Then today we'll be having a lot of learning from you, and definitely your insights will going to help us uh, in our survey. So let me introduce myself. As I've already told you, my name is Paul. I'm a program manager in Xfinity Solution. Xfinity Solution is also an IT and ITS service provider company, and we also do provide a virtual assistant service to different business owners in US and other Canada and Europe as well, some part of Europe as well. So we have been running this company for about 3 years now, and we are getting good response from different companies. And this is about the Xfinity. And now let me tell you the objective of this survey. As you already know, that we are interviewing business owners and professionals across industries to understand how they're through their leadership skills are combating this situation, and what are the strategies they actually think should be implemented by the government or the business houses to recover from this economic downturn. So this survey report will be circulated among all the interviewees, and we are getting a stupendous response from several brands, corporates, and executives across industries. So this is the objective of the survey. So so if you're ready, I'm going to start asking my questions. So
Please.
sure. So my first question is to you, Robert. Is have you ever faced any such times as this before?
Uh, no, Paul. I don't think that anyone has faced times like this since the Second Great War or the
Of
World
course,
War II. I think that the economic impact is something well beyond anyone in my generation has seen. Not to mention the human cost that this time frame has cost us.
of course, of course. So anything which is near to that, or have you faced, or any challenges you faced before, which is not as big as this one, but somewhat you can compare it with.
Well, we had the Great Recession back in the early 2000s. That definitely took a toll on quite a large number of businesses. We weathered through that pretty well with not much impact. But so I think that we've seen downturns that were significant. We've seen economic slowdowns that cramped the budget a little bit and
Yep.
forced companies to really tighten up on their budget. But this what we're going through right now at this juncture is unparalleled, and I definitely think that there's unfortunately some rougher seas on the horizon.
Of course. So my next question would be: is your business seriously affected by this pandemic?
So when everything first started, and here in the U.S. we had a complete shutdown across several states that really impacted a lot. I think that was somewhat unavoidable. So we saw a little bit of tightening, and what we've seen in a lot of industries a persistent hesitancy to really expand marketing budgets. I think that a lot of that has to do with uncertainty about what the next few months are going to look like from multiple reasons, but especially from COVID-19.
Okay. Okay. Great. So somewhat it was affecting you earlier, but then suddenly you've sort of recovering from it gradually.
We've seen some persistent reduction in companies' marketing budgets. We've seen some come back to near full levels.
Mhm.
And not to confuse the viewers, obviously there's definitely verticals that are thriving and are even more profitable under the current climate. But for the most part, pretty much across the board in a lot of verticals, I think there's still a lot of hesitancy to commit to investments, just because there's so much, there's so much left unanswered that we just don't know what things are about.
Yeah, there are things which is uncertain mostly. Wow, that's true. That's great insight. So number 3, probably you've already talked about it. Do you see challenges in future, and are you prepared for this? And how are you prepared for this?
So I'll be honest, and I'd love to be able to put some sugar on this, but I just, I'm a straight talker. So I think
That's good.
that the truth is, over the next 3 to 6 months, I think that we're going to see some severe economic impacts pretty much across the board. I think that's going to persist all the way into most likely second quarter next year. I think first quarter next year is still going to be filled with a lot of rough times. But like they say, the greatest opportunity exists in the greatest chaos, right? So It might require some pivots. It definitely requires a change in approaches. But there's still money to be made. There's still opportunity, even in the midst of the COVID chaos.
Absolutely right. And there are some companies who are getting benefited out of it. So you have to always search for this. That's good. So my next question would be, or it's not a question, rather it's like more like a statement. I want to know what's your take on this. So industry connected to IT domain operation directly or indirectly has managed to sustain. So do you agree on this? Industries who are connected to it. So industry, yeah, sure. Industries connected to IT domain operation directly or indirectly have managed to sustain this pandemic. So do you agree on this?
I think definitely on the digital side of things across multiple disciplines, I think that we've seen that it's sustainable, right? Because while, it's definitely been a challenge, I think COVID has brought the need for a robust and healthy digital platform, whether that's on the IT side of things, the marketing side of things, or the communication and networking side of things. I think that it's really brought home how big of a transformation we've gone through from the traditional marketing and ways of doing business to what is the new era. And I know that initially, for quite a few years, a lot of businesses have somewhat resisted that and have been comfortable in the way that they've always done business and the way they've always marketed. And so they were resistant to really break that mold and move forward and evolve. Not all, obviously we see a lot of businesses caught the wave early and have stuck with it. But I think that COVID definitely highlighted the need for that in all aspects of business.
Absolutely right. That's what is. So so my next question would be, so you have already answered that in some way, but then I need more understanding, deep understanding on this. It's like, how do you see the economy in near future, and how do you think the government or the big business houses should take, what are the steps they should take to recover it?
Well, for businesses, I would say that the primary things that I would tell businesses is that there's a new king KPI in town. I think that it was already in the process of becoming a major concern for businesses, but customer experience. And that even goes for the customers that haven't bought from you yet, right? The potential customers. I think that for so long, companies have focused solely on profit and bottom line numbers, that in a lot of cases there was a sacrifice of what the user experience was, what the customer experience was. And I think that what COVID is doing, it's forcing businesses at a faster clip to have to realize the need for that. Because I think that customers were already revolting from this lack of real connection with the companies that they were doing business with, lack of real support from those companies. And so I think that there was already a movement that customers were saying, we're done with this. If you can't treat your customers right, your customers are going to stop coming to you. And that's
Absolutely.
from the first brand message they come in contact with to whatever you do in the long-term nurture of your existing client base, right? I think that that's become a primary focus. User experience is also a focus for the prospecting and for the individuals that are just coming across your brand and may not have bought from you yet, but making sure that their user experience of your brand and the impression that you leave them is focused around being helpful, is focused around providing value, is focused around caring for them. Because I think what some companies forget is right now these customers, these clients, these end users are suffering. There's a lot of pain
Of course.
out there. And so if you're just trying to sell them, or if you're just doing some superficial attempt to sound like a company that cares, people can smell that from a mile away. And while they're in the midst of so much pain, so much worry, so much uncertainty, if you're not being sensitive to that in your brand and your brand messaging, I think that you're going to face some really rough seas and some really daunting challenges in regards to how things play out from here on out.
Oh, that's a lot of learning actually. You're putting it forward pretty nicely, and I think my viewers will definitely going to get a benefit out of it, whatever advices you're giving. So my next question, or rather, I would like you to tell my viewers how your company, Thoughtful Innovation, are helping their client during this testing time to get business and grow their business. Can you just, if you can just help them understand?
So as soon as COVID hit and we saw the lockdowns and the shutdowns, the first thing we did was met with all of our existing clients, right, to take stock of what the economic impact on them was going to be, where they saw their business going, what type of challenges they were facing, what type of new challenges they were facing in their daily activities and in their goals, so that we could really scale down and meet them with where they were at on their challenges. What we've also done is we've offered a 20% discount all the way through October for anybody that comes to Thoughtful Innovations and seeks services. To try to really help people where they're at. Now, we're a business like everyone else, so obviously, we have to worry about our margins, but we're really trying to meet people with where they're at and the challenges that we're having. We started the HVAC Owners Group, which is dedicated just to the HVAC industry, but it was a way, which is one of our significant focuses, has been one of our significant focuses for a while. But we started the HVAC Owners Group so that we could try to help put out some positive feedback and really help businesses get the information they need to understand how to overcome some of these new challenges. But really, it's just being accessible to people, to business owners that are wanting to know where to go, or maybe haven't transitioned to a strong digital platform yet and realize now that they better do it. Yes. And are looking for assistance in that field, and try to make it affordable to them as well.
That's really great. So I would ask my viewers, if you are really interested to know more about Thoughtful Innovation, I'm going to give the link here. So you can just always click on the link and you can get to learn more about Thoughtful Innovation. And if you really want to get some sort of a discount, which Robert has just said, that 20% discount to the existing client. So if you are a new client, if you want to get the discount, you just need to comment COVID, so you can have a discount. So that's great. So my next question would be, it is not a question again, it's a statement. I just want to understand what's your view on this. As a study says that keeping a virtual assistant during this testing time can save your time and money and can help you grow your business faster than ever. It's like hiring a team at a price of a single employee. So virtual assistant service, you must be knowing everything end-to-end, all BPO and KPO services. So if you are being a business owner, you're dealing with the frontline customers and you're getting business. At the back end, you're keeping someone, you're loading your work to someone who is doing 40 hours of work for you and then he is remote, he or she or the company is remote, and he is doing all your work for yourself. So do you agree on this statement actually?
So I think that the support is definitely necessary, especially during crisis periods like this, right?
Yeah.
Right now, I don't care whether it's just the average Joe on the street or somebody that's dealing with your business. People are panicked. People are concerned. People are worried about where things are going. And if you really,
Exactly.
one of the least expensive ways to stand out from the crowd is to provide great customer service, right? And
Actually.
part of great customer service is people being able to communicate to you in real time when they need to,
Of
right?
course.
And get good feedback from you. So whether that's phone staff support, whether that's email, my strongest recommend. Look, everybody starts a business. Everybody's business life cycle is in a different period, right? So we try to meet businesses with where they're at in their life cycle, but that they need to understand that it is now a digital world, right? Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, you Google, Bing, you name it, that's where people are at. And the whole
Actually.
point and the best place that you could be in for your business is to make sure you're where your customers are at and you're everywhere they're at, right? That
Absolutely.
everywhere they're at, they can turn and find you. One, it can be comforting to them to be dealing with the brand that they know they can find you everywhere, right? Number two is, we all know in sales, repetition, repetition, repetition,
Very
repetition.
important.
So the more times they come across your brand, the more touch points you have with them, the more trust and authority that you build with them. And that's what it comes down to. People want to believe that you're a company that they can trust in, that they can go to for answers, that they're going to get great service, and that they're going to get a quality product or service delivered to them on time when they need it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's also a great view, I must say. As I've already told you in the beginning that we are providing a virtualization service. We are a virtualization company, so which includes everything like data entry, event planning, internet research, appointment scheduling, email management, bookkeeping, everything. Or just name any service which you need to run a business at the back end. We provide that. So I'm going to share with you our services after this call, and I'm going to share with my viewers as well our services. If you're interested, my viewers, and if you are interested, Robert, you can always reach out to us. We offer a very customized sort of a service, and the rate is also very low at this time, and you'll get a best service, as because we are not a freelancer, we are a company, and we're going to give you a professional service, like not like a freelancer who are not that professional, but all to no hard feelings to the freelancer. There are professional freelancers, but since you're a company, we definitely have a control over our employees. So that's great. So it was really nice talking to you, Robert, and I'm sure this was insightful and educative, and your view will really add a lot of values to our survey, and we are obviously looking forward to some more views. And obviously this I'm going to run this survey for another couple of months, or maybe 1.5 months. Once the survey is over, I'm going to share the full survey report with you, and which will be also published in our annual report. So have a great rest of the day. Okay. Bye
Sounds
bye.
good. And Paul, before we wrap up, just let me tell you this. That's what caught my attention. Is this is a phenomenal. I think the data you're trying to gather here has a lot of real world usage opportunity to it. So
Actually,
phenomenal phenomenal approach, and I'm really excited to see what your results are.
thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. And I'm going to share the report with you for sure. And this is going to be a big, because we are getting a lot of responses from different brands and different executives and owners. And if you, what we believe in, if you share your view with each other, that would really help each other to grow and fight this situation. Just
You
hang
know,
on.
we've lost sight of it, but we're all in this together, right? And if the internet has
Actually,
showed us
actually.
anything, it's how interconnected we are.
Yeah, that is what, during this time we should be working together and we should fight together. It is not like individual fight, it's a fight for all of us. And if
That's
you
right.
if we share our views, then this is definitely going to help, because somebody might get help from your view, you might get help from somebody other's view. This is really going to be a big thing for us, and probably after a couple of months we'll definitely going to come up with a full survey report, which is definitely going to help you understand. Okay, great. It was nice talking to you, Robert. Have a nice day ahead. Bye-bye.